Here we go, episode 52 uploaded coming at you as we are about 23 days away from the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks. And so today we're going to focus in first. We're going to check in on the fillies and how they did over the course of the weekend and what it looks like for that final 14 runners, hopefully to get into the gate for the first Friday in May. All right, here we go. Ladies first. Ballerina Gioro, able to win the Gazelle at Aqueduct over the weekend. Our selection, De Lorraine, with Mike Smith in the irons, running third. A non-threatening third. Didn't even look good. But in my opinion, the winner didn't look good either. Ballerina Gioro had plenty of time to come around with this big sweeping move, and then it took a long time to get up past the speed horse in that particular race that was fighting to the inside early on. And I just didn't like it. So my thing about that, this time of year, if you're still having trouble in the lane, passing horses, or like a 3-year-old colt named Sandman, if you're drifting out and doing things, I'm a little concerned about you. So I'm a little concerned with Ballerina Gioro. I don't think she's good enough to win moving forward, but she earns that victory for sure. And yeah, that'll work. That was on the East Coast. On the West Coast, Tenma, able to win the Santa Anita Oaks. Our selection there was Look Forward. I really thought that Michael McCarthy would keep Look Forward on the West Coast and not ship out to Kentucky. Instead, they shipped Look Forward out to Kentucky, had to wait the extra days because the race was delayed. Look Forward ran crappy on Monday, so I don't know what they're going to do with her next, but she's not viable for the Oaks at all. But Tenma, I'm never really sure how to gauge these closers that come from off the pace in these short fields, because I'm not quite sure they're going to be used to this massive fields of 13 horses they're going to deal with when they get to the big day. But Tenma was impressive enough to earn the spot, and so you got to respect that. Then there was the Ashland that was moved to Monday. And Lacara, that's a great ride from Dylan Davis. He did something really, really smart. He not only to get out there on the front end, he had a little move there at the half-mile point where he backed them up. And the horse that was to the inside behind him backed up into the other runners, and then he got away. He used that moment and then spurted away and got some more separation. I believe it was that move right there at the half-mile pole that backed the field up, and that made it harder for the closers, namely my pick, Take Charge Milady, who was making up serious ground in the stretch. That made it difficult for her to catch up to Lacara, who not only had the lead, had zero pressure, and got a break. So great ride from Dylan Davis. That was awesome. Super smart. And it worked out. I do not fear her in any way, shape, or form in the Oaks. Not at all. But she got that one, so she moves on. So with that, we unveil for the very first time here in episode number 52, it is our top 5 for the Oaks. And my number one select, look, Good Cheer has to be on the list because she's undefeated and she's just so tough. Like, there are times when you'll see horses in small fields, and we saw, if you go back and look at Good Cheer, I think she's in the Rachel Alexandra, or maybe it was a Silver Bullet Day. I think it was the Rachel. If you go back and watch that, there's only 4 horses in the field, and she's trapped. They got her boxed in, and she's like, man, get out of the way. And she just pushes her way through and demolishes that field. She's just really, really good. But once again, it's a field of 14, so anything can happen. I just love the closing kick of Take Charge Milady. And how do I say this? I just say it. There are certain riders, man, they're just tough for me to deal with. And one of them is Julien Leparoux. And he'd been aboard Take Charge Milady on a regular basis. And then 2 starts back, he just got into a weird spot. And if she wasn't ready to run, that's fine. But man, I think it's him. There are certain riders where I'm like, you're not making the difference, or you're not improving the horse. So, and then, they get the horse ready to go, and Brian Hernandez does a great job taking her back and a wonderful run up the rail and just couldn't get to the leader. I just think that she has a nice turn of foot. I think that she is the real deal. Is she good enough to beat Good Cheer no matter who's riding? I don't know. And Good Cheer is a question because hopefully Luis Saez is going to be okay, and I think he will, so that he will be aboard this undefeated filly. Good Cheer is the real deal. And then there's Bless the Broken, who, it was really a nice performance in the Bourbonette. Now, she got the jump on As Catch Can, and that was a huge difference because As Catch Can is not going to be eligible for this race, and I think she's great as well. Bless the Broken just has a nice running style. I'm not sure if John Velasquez will retain that mount. But I think she's nice. And then we have to think about the speed, right? Simply Joking is not to be messed with on the front end. She is for real, for real, for real. And it takes a really, really impressive, like pressing, stalking style that Quiet Side has to beat a horse like Simply Joking. Quiet Side is tough. She is going to be a problem in the stretch. So I can definitely see them turning for home with Simply Joking on the lead, Good Cheer and Quiet Side pressing on the inside and the outside, and those three throw down and turning for home. And then in order to make money on this race, I'm hoping that because they're throwing down, they don't see Take Charge Milady coming down the center of the track and she runs right past them in the stretch and gets up in time. That's the way I see the Oaks. And so in order to really understand how the race is going to shape up, let's take a look at your Kentucky Oaks leaderboard, the final points leaderboard. Quiet Side, we just look at these. They're really, really nice fillies this year. Quiet Side, impressive. Lacara has speed, and we'll see what happens on the front end. Good Cheer, undefeated. Tenma, we'll see. 5G has speed, but is inconsistent with that speed. Ballerina Duro has a closing kick, but is still a little green. Early on, likes to fight. You gotta like that. Take Charge Milady just needs the right setup. That's all. Simply Joking, as I mentioned, is serious, serious speed, and you gotta deal with her. Right? Second page, skip the top there. You see Simply Joking again. Bless the Broken, we mentioned how she won on the synthetic. She's got something. We'll see if she can bring it back to the dirt, where she really wasn't that great before. Queen's MG and Drexel Hill, Silent Law, these are runners that are just right there in mid-pack. Muhima used to have speed, and they've been trying to rate her. I don't know if that's going to work. It might be the thing, because they've been trying to rate her the last couple of races. And then you have the other runners who are trying to get in if you have any defections. Remember, only 14 fillies get in for the Oaks. Fondly is dangerous, and Ahava is just straight speed. So if she gets in, that's going to be intriguing as well. So that's what it looks like as we get closer. Now, once again, we're just doing the same thing we talked about, right? We're chilling. We're tracking everything that's happening with the workouts and with the trainer's notes on all of our runners, whether it be the Oaks or the Derby, for the next 22 days, right? And hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes well. All right, speaking of fingers crossed, our play of the day or our best bets, we've been giving out great selections. We just haven't been getting the racing luck. Yesterday, we had a horse named Domingo. The 7 was 17-1 in the final race on the card at Gulfstream Park. Johnny V with a great ride. They turned for home, and he's on the lead or getting to the lead, fighting with another horse, and then all of a sudden, here come two other horses flying down the stretch. The 10 and the 12. The 12 ends up winning and paying a massive price, and Domingo at 17-1 ends up being fourth, right, in that blanket finish. Just boom, 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 boom. It's like, ah! So we feel good about our handicapping. Just need to get a little bit of racing luck. So today we're back at it. That was Keeneland's race yesterday, sorry. Today it's going to be the final race at Gulfstream Park. And what we're going to do is, well, we're going to get the money. So what we like in this race, it is a race that is on the turf course at Gulfstream Park. It is race number 9 to wrap up the card. Scarlet Sands is the 3 in here at 6-1. And we like this runner for a couple of reasons. This filly looked really good last time out. And what happened was she ran into lone speed. She ran into a really lethal combination. She ran into Luis Saez on lone speed. You're not catching him. Forget it. And so when they turned for home, she's making up crazy ground, but she's not going to get to the leader, who was allowed to kind of crawl around there without any pressure whatsoever. Well, that's not the scenario in this race Thursday. There is some pace. There's something to run at in this race. Got a sprinter stretching out to the inside with Paco Lopez. You know Paco's not going to take back. Come on, don't be ridiculous. And then there's some other speed sprinkled to the outside. And then the guy that I think makes the big difference here, Miguel Vasquez, has the 7. That horse has also got some speed, and Miguel's not going to take back. So I think Scarlet Sands will have something to run at. And with the blinkers going on, the horse is a bit more focused on what's happening in front of them. And I think that could be the secret for Scarlet Sands. Will we get this 6-1? You know, I think we might get 6-1, maybe even 7-1. I think we might get better than that. I think that's great. So that's what we're looking forward to. I think it's going to work out. So don't forget, play race number 9, Gulfstream Park, Thursday. That's today, the number 3 Scarlet Sands, and we will get value. If you want to go back and check, that's the beauty of recording these shows. You can easily go back and be like, oh, what did the play of the day do or the best bet do before. And they've all been running in the money. All of them. We only got one winner so far, but everything else is running second and third. So we're just trying to continue to keep it pushing, and hopefully racing luck will be on our side. All right, that's going to do it for episode number 52. In the meantime, in between time, and until next time, I'm Ken Rudulph here on Horse Race Bets. Next time we talk, we'll be talking about the Lexington Stakes coming up at Keeneland, and we'll have really valuable weekend plays as we continue to, of course, track our horses training for the big weekend, but at the same time, there's money to be made. Just one bet per day is kind of really all you need to do. Make it value, right? Take your time, scour, look at what you like. I always like to play the final race on the card at most tracks. So you do whatever feels comfortable for you. But don't go crazy. Pace yourself. We're trying to make it to the first weekend in May, and then you can go completely bonkers if you want to. I'll be right there with you. All right, we'll see you next time here. And in the meantime, good luck and enjoy whatever you're into.